to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And then the emergency exits are there and there, as they always are. Do you want to do roll call?
Sure. Supervisor Blackman?
Here.
Council members Ahern? Here. Ham? Here. Bregelar?
Here.
Okay, thanks for the...
Switch, I didn't do it.
Okay. Before we do the tentative budget review, we're going to do a brief executive session to hear from Chris Klingner. So I move that we go into executive session.
I'll second.
I second that. You seconded it? Okay, I
Sorry.
know.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So it's Judge Klingner and Clerk Maureen Moore.
Okay, Chris, why don't you come to the So I had suggested that we do, oh, we have to still have the meeting. Matt, are you ready? Okay. I move that we reopen the meeting, we close executive session, reopen the public meeting, and move on.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. So, the only other thing I wanted to say is that because obviously discussing personnel and salaries is somewhat private, tonight when we go through this stuff, we will discuss it in executive session after the meeting, and tomorrow when we go through it again, we will talk numbers. Okay. Charlie, do you want to just walk us through the budget? I had some questions, but I'll interrupt you periodically.
Sure, and the budget that I passed, the copy that I passed around is on your, you might want to use it because it's, that
This one.
Which one? That's just personnel.
No, I understand, but there was a package that I gave each person, it's just printed larger than what you're.
Well, that's nice.
This one?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
there you go.
Yeah.
So I'll make a couple of really quick comments. The tentative budget here, the mill rate actually decreases from last year, and that's really due, our appropriations is higher, the revenue is a little bit higher. I'm suggesting the same appropriated fund balance, which is really, it's money that we didn't spend in previous years that was collected as taxes. The total assessed value of the town increased significantly, and the assessed value that is here is net of the settlement, the tax sort settlements that you guys agreed to a couple of weeks ago.
So that's included in here, right?
That is included in there, yes. For the most part, most of the department requests, their requests are here straightforward. There are a few places where they're a little different. Some are a little higher, some are a little lower, depending upon if it seemed as if we were actually spending more than we had in year to date and things of that nature to the department. So if you guys, I don't know if you want to walk through each line item, and we'll just skip the personal services. Does that work well? Okay. So the town board, the conferences, this went up generally based on a number of people wanted to go to more conferences, and there possibly may be new people next year in some of the roles. The town justices, aside from the personnel services, everything else is exactly as the department request is, and honestly, the justices have always come in kind of where Dawn has budgeted and what we have put into the budget.
Well, the justices though, it has a request, right? And then it has the a tentative recommendation.
Yes, exactly. So we're not looking at the PS line, which is personal services, so everything below that,
Okay,
you'll see that the request equals, the tentative equals what the department request was.
okay.
The only thing that really bumped up here were interpreters, and then the court clerk, that they're using interpreters more in that the field of law.
Yes, every court session.
Yeah.
So, last year, in the adopted budget, 100,009, okay, so it's gone up basically $10,000 for the total at the bottom?
Yes, that is the difference in the two.
But that's including, that's coming from the PS lines, which is salaries.
Right.
Okay.
Right? The supervisor line, again, it's the conferences increased slightly. The finance department, the What we budget, what we had actually was 33,000 in 2024. The adopted budget was just too low. This is our CPA external firm, and so there's a lot of work with them, with the various different capital projects that we have. A lot of back and forth there. They also are the ones who do the AFR, which is the report that goes to the state at the beginning of every year.
So that's the 25,000 line.
Yes, yeah. The tax collector, it's relatively in line with what was adopted in 2025.
Oh, I see. Yep. The rest of the stuff looks the same.
The town assessor, the assessor's office asked for 3 lateral filing cabinets. We asked the custodian if there were any filing cabinets anywhere around, and they're not, for them to use. So that's what the 3,500 is as a new equipment line here. The tax cert, we've actually been bringing this down every year for the past 3. It used to be, I think it was almost up to 150 at one point. And last year, we budgeted 75, and this coming year, since there was a large settlement, it might not even equal to 30. The assessor's office, there's a couple of conferences that the assessor clerk, the assessor would like the clerk to go to, which is the increase there. And then the contract, this is something that we can discuss. The clerk is proposing to use a new type of software that actually they map through satellite the area. The only problem is they haven't actually done that yet, so we couldn't incur that cost.
Wait, I'm sorry, they haven't actually.
So it is a service that they, sort of like Google Maps, except it's much more high resolution from what I understand.
Okay.
And so the assessor is able to license the software
Right.
and to see things that have changed.
But they haven't flown over this area yet?
They have not flown over this.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is, yes.
Thank you.
They have not flown over the area.
So because she hasn't spent the 20, we're just adding 6, is that why the total is less than what?
20 was
It was
adopted last
2025.
year.
Yeah.
Well, the big difference is the 75 to 30 in the tax cert line. If you're looking at the total
Oh,
for the
right, yep,
assessor,
yep, yep.
yeah, that's the difference there.
All right.
The fiscal agent, this is, they consult with us on our ARPA fund reporting, which this coming year will be the last time that we do that reporting. They are also our bonding agency, not bonding council, but they do the bonding placement.
Okay.
The town clerk, again, everything that they requested is just equal to tentative, and it's relatively in line with previous years. Again, the training and dues, this is something we've kind of done a number of times, and I think the clerk's office also wants correct on like
The tra-
The
I put it
training
in for Erica and Robin to go to training.
yeah. It seems like a really good thing. I mean, the training is, not very expensive, and so I think the department's wanting their, people to go for training is a good thing.
So they'll be allowed to go this year?
Say that again?
They'll be allowed to go this year? Yeah.
If you guys say yes.
The town attorney, this is again, like I think I raised it last year, it's just remarkable the amount of money that's spent on the town attorney. I'm putting 150, we may go past the 150 that was budgeted in 2025.
In 2024, it was 180,000.
I know, that's why I'm saying we may go past that, because
Right.
remember, the year-to-date is only through August 31st. So we have 4 more months to go. I mean, September, they'll close the books on that now, but I actually think when I pulled the report, we were at 100. Past probably 100, maybe we were at 120. Yeah. So maybe, it all depends on what can be done next year to curtail some of this costs. It's a really large line item for a town. Engineering, this might be something for you guys to consider. So what we've done in the past 2 years is kind of pulled together projects that we felt would require engineering and have budgeted for it here. We budgeted 100 for this past year, 2025, and we've only spent 55 as of 8/31, and there's probably another 15 that we're about to spend. The ethics board is just a.
I
What
just
is-
want to ask about the ethics board though. With the increase of the number of recusals, I mean, I think on this year alone that they had to contact an attorney at least twice. Is that $200 going to,
The ethics board,
Yeah,
those attorney fees would be charged to the main line.
okay.
We could create another line if you wanted to.
But I'm just wanting to know where that money comes from.
Yeah, that's.
And what is the 200, what is the
Are you pointing
200?
on to you?
What's the attorney, we took the money out of the attorney line.
Yeah, we took the money out of the town attorney line, yeah. The only time that it gets allocated differently is if they are, if it's for the planning board attorney, is through the planning board,
Okay.
same for ZBA.
And what is the $200 for? What does that represent?
It's
Just
always been there,
miscellaneous
it's like,
expenses?
you know, like materials. It might not be a bad thing if we wanted to actually
That would
break
have been
it
their
out.
training, because it's a contractual expense if they were gonna do AOT or anything to that
Yeah,
sort.
I don't think
But I don't
that's
think they've
enough.
gone, they
No.
haven't gone or participated in a
Yeah.
while,
Is it required?
not for now.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to include a line there for, I mean, it's,
Well, as long as they get paid, I mean,
yeah, no, it gets paid, it would come out of that line, out of the town attorney line.
Okay. I just want to make sure that they have access if they need it.
Yeah, well, and the town attorney is a consultant to that board.
So, actually, though, in one occasion, he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't used, it was a different attorney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a different attorney, he recommended a different.
But I'm assuming it comes out of that same line.
It would come out of that
Still
line
come
too,
out as the
yeah.
attorney, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, for town hall, the public access is our wonderful Matt, which is her meeting. The equipment line, it's various equipment in town hall. Public access equipment, so this was, we had budgeted 30 for the work that was done in this room. It came in much less than that. And I just put in 500 in case, I don't know, microphone breaks or something. I know, Rosanna, you had mentioned about putting, having laptops for people or tablets or something. This would be the time to discuss if you wanted to include something like that in this budget. And it would probably be under that equipment line there.
Would it hurt to get an estimate on how much that would cost? I'm just thinking of all the reams of paper that we go through, and the
Well,
time that's spent copying.
And sometimes the documents are just easier to see in front of you on screen.
So no.
No, I'm saying no, I think we should look into it. Dover has it.
Yeah, Dover, they all have it,
They all have
and
it.
it looks like it might be, I just think it might save time and money ultimately with, because people have to constantly print this stuff off and put it in the folder. I mean, it takes a whole bunch of people to put all this stuff together, and I just think it might be easier. But if we could get a cost estimate on how much it would cost.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
sure.
we can
Do you-
get that from
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we can get it from our IT people and we can
Mhm.
just call them and ask, so if you wanna do that?
No, I can do it, that's easy enough. I'd just like to know what type of setup you would like. So I feel like Dover has computer
They have
screens.
computer screens.
They have
And what
computer
happens is
screens.
The person has everything there, and everybody's looking at the same screen at the same time. And what they're looking at up close is also what you see on the big screen, so that way those people at home can also see it. So they have, it's like a whole system that goes down in front of them that they have it.
That
So
makes
it's
sense.
And Rich is controlling it.
That's what I
And
wanted to know.
then
Who
Holly,
controls
the
it?
supervisor, is controlling.
Oh, I didn't
Holly.
realize the supervisor controlled it, I feel
And they're
totally
the ones,
different.
and then they're the ones that are totally, like, yeah, they're the ones that are going through.
I know. So wait a
Are
minute,
you
what is
thinking-
that?
Are you thinking a laptop for people to take home with them, or
No.
you like
No.
just leave,
Just
like
leave
they
it
do at
here.
the school, like Tracy
Yeah.
sets everything up?
That might be even easier then, right? Edmonds
Yeah, Tracy.
for screens?
Oh, yeah, just the screen and then just. the
So wait a minute, so
supervisor.
you're saying that in Dover, they have screens, but it just
Like right
shows
in
the
front of
same?
them.
Yeah, but it just shows the same thing that's there?
In whatever whatever Rich is,
Pulling up.
pulling up, I mean, I'm sitting on the other side and I'm watching it from home, so I don't know what they're looking at on
Hmm.
the screen, but.
Okay.
So maybe we could look.
Well, it's worth, it's worth asking what they,
might be-
and certainly what they might recommend or what they've used elsewhere.
But they also leave everything set up down there, so I think all of their boards are doing it.
So planning board.
Everybody would have it, yeah.
Actually, that would be great, because again, the reams of paper that like the planning board, I mean, it's ridiculous, and then a lot of it is bigger size paper and it's hard to see. So I think it would be worth looking into.
Okay, so it would be a setup where there are, however many, I guess, what do we have, 8 screen stations?
Well, we need for the,
You need 7, right?
it's 7 planning board members plus 2 alternates, or 9, right?
9 plus the
Plus the
attorney
attorney
and
and the
the
Engineer.
engineer and the
and
secretary. So 10.
Is that 10? Yeah.
That is 10?
Yeah, but you're just not getting that much kind of space here.
I know, that means that table over there would have to remain all the time.
Wait, I'm sorry, it's
That-
7 members plus 2 alternates is 9, plus 3 more people is,
That'd be
12, right?
12. In Dover, they have that second table that actually sits there all the time, where the consultants
Is
sit.
that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Their benches.
Hmm?
Is that a bad thing?
No, I'm just trying to get the total number.
Right.
Yeah. So,
So I think we should look into it.
okay.
Budget meeting,
This is budget meeting.
Town board budget meeting.
Okay,
you wanna be upstairs for CPA?
CPA is upstairs.
okay. No, I understand, this is.
But you,
open to the
yes, it's
public?
absolutely,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can
Okay,
come,
well,
come hang out with
us.
us. Sure.
So, continuing on, the security contract we had is $200, sorry. The electricity, rates just continue to go up. So we've increased this line because we're probably going to go past the 10,000 that's adopted for this year. Fountain Square maintenance, we'll go through that. The heat, we came in a little less this year, so hopefully we stay at 35. The maintenance line is something to discuss. In a way, there was a lot of work that was done this year for the 75,000, so there was all the exterior painting and the interior painting and a number of other things. But this is almost like a contingency line. We have an old building, and if we have a roof problem or something like that, that's all of that falls into that line.
Yeah, I mean, we lowered it, but it's still a nice safety net if something happens.
Right.
So I'm fine with that.
And a way to think about it is if we don't use that next year, that becomes fund balance that we can apply to the appropriations,
Mhm.
The mowing, we sort of kept it where it was. I would like to discuss, this is probably not the best time, but I mentioned it last year, it should really be something that's discussed at the beginning of next year, is doing an analysis about our mowing and our plowing, and if that makes sense to actually maybe purchase that equipment and have a full-time person to do all of that, because we pay, you know, about $40,000 to mow everything. The snow plowing is, I think, 43. Then we also have another, I think it's 16 or so for the snow plowing on the rail trail, the trail to the train in Wassaic. And we pay, you know, 2 groundskeepers. You know, so maybe all of that stuff put together.
You thinking like groundskeepers could be part-time all year then, instead of seasonal?
Yes. Yeah. It seems like that the way we're doing it is kind of an outdated, and that most towns have gone to having an employee or two who does that. Sometimes it's in the highway department, sometimes it's a park and rec thing. But I think it would make sense to look at, it's a lot of money, right? It's,
Yeah. And I mean, if those parties are interested in the work, why not let?
yeah.
No, I agree, I think that would be great.
It's too late now, I think we need to make sure we remember that for the beginning of next year. Let's see, telephone is the telephone service. And then the vintage lights in Wassaic, again, this is really a, you know, kind of a contingency. If something happens, we have to replace one, which happens every once in a while. And then I've added a water line since now Town Hall is metered. The 800 was just an average of commercial users, so I don't know if we'll come above or below that. We'll see.
Great.
Okay, so aside from the me getting a quote for the computers, do you guys have any changes to the town hall section?
Why is it too late for the mowing and snow removal? Why do we have to do it next year if we're doing the budget now for next year?
Well, we're going out to bid for the snow.
Right, but that's
now.
for this year, right, for this
Right.
winter?
Yes, but that is,
Oh,
this
it
will
goes
go
into.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry.
You have to create those positions and then add a PS line.
We have positions now.
I'm
So
saying,
the way he's describing it, he wants to actually add it in as like employees and have those job duties, so that way then we wouldn't be advertising for mowing of next year.
right, we would be,
We
this would be
start-
something that we would implement in 2027,
Mhm.
because this budget line is, what you guys approved for last year is what we'll pay for half
Going
of-
into this one, half of this, yeah, okay.
Plus, it would be the equipment. We would need to, I want to do an analysis for you guys so that you know what the equipment cost would be, what its useful life is. We would estimate maintenance of that equipment, you know.
Mhm.
We should run the numbers. Maybe it doesn't work.
That's
I
true.
think it will, but
I couldn't believe what it cost Megan to put a new clutch in the mower, so, I don't know.
yeah.
It's 13 grand.
The central room supplies, supplies have just gotten more expensive.
So, I just wanna know what's included in that. I mean, is that like paper and pencils and, or is it like toilet tissue and cleaning supplies, or is it all of the above?
All of the above.
Okay.
Central printing. So the legals are posting in the newspaper, if I'm not mistaken. And then postage, I mean, we're almost $1 a stamp at this point, right?
24 cents. So we did go up because we're gonna max the numbers out. As you can see, as of 8/31, we're already at 7,832. We only had 8,000 in the line. But due to the additional mailings that we've been seeing, and we ended last year at $12,046, so we thought we should just bring it up to 12.
Yeah, we should be honest with ourselves.
I have a question, and I think I know the answer because it's deeper in here, that the rec has their own line for postage?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
So central processing, the Edmunds GovTech is getting out of the business of IT consulting at the end of 2026. So they had proposed that we buy a number of computers that are outdated, so that's in this line, as well as some of our software licensing, plus a little contingency for a transition to the new firm. which would start at the beginning of 2027, but I'm sure there will be an overlap. So in the beginning of the third quarter of 2026, we've been given a list of people that they just are recommending, or not necessarily recommending, but these are people who do this kind of governmental work, and so we should, work to get a contract with them, and then there will be some overlap. I can go through the computers if you guys wanted to. They are on your, these budget worksheets, if you want me to. The computers that they recommended being replaced. Yeah, it was 4. And then
Charlie, you put
budgeting-
page numbers on the horizontal, it would be good to have them on all of them, because otherwise we can't.
Well,
See, it's page 6.
yes, these are, printing out these, I can't really,
Oh,
it's a million different, yeah. I guess I could collate them all together.
yeah.
But so I was budgeting $8,500 for the transition. I have no idea what that will be, but I think that we're probably looking at a quarter of both services. And Edmunds GovTech actually, I think is very affordable. I have a feeling we'll probably be spending more on another firm. Okay. The contingency line item we've always had, and we're just keeping it steady at 60,000.
Could you explain that, because I don't understand what that is?
The contingency?
Mm-hmm.
So it's if any of the budgeted line items are overspent, it's a place where we're able to transfer funds
Mm-hmm.
from contingency to fill it. So like Dawn's example of, we're gonna go over our postage amount of $8,000. We probably would take that out of contingency.
Thank you.
I will say what's kind of odd when you are looking at the monthly operating statements, when you look at contingency, it will show that the contingency line budgeted is lower than what we actually budgeted at the beginning of the year. It's because,
Well, it says year-to-date 0, there's nothing in there.
I know, I've taken it out because the thing is that we continue to decrease it, so it goes away. It's one of those things that's a little bit, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to look at it because it keeps getting moved.
Doesn't make any sense.
The unallocated line, what does that represent?
It's our insurance, so this is our liability insurance.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's some dues I'm familiar with.
The Association of Towns,
Mhm.
yes.
And,
Both of these two dues, I believe, are remaining the same. So our grant administrator, we have a monthly contract with the grant administrator for $2,500. So that's what this is here. I think that Christie has done really well.
Oh, she's doing great, but our contract, when does our contract end? Because we only did it for a certain period of time, didn't we?
I wasn't involved in the contract, so I'm
Okay.
not sure.
I mean, it's possible that would go up next year, but,
Yeah.
because I think it just goes to the end of the year now, but it's worth checking. I can
Do you
call.
guys want to put a percentage increase into it, or just the,
Well, only 7,500's been used, and we're now budgeting for 30,000.
Yeah. makes
well,
sense.
I think that the 7,500 is just for a few months, I think that's why.
Well, we're
So
gonna,
that would be 3 months. Did we start using her?
Okay, so right, so we're figuring for the whole year, what it would.
Yeah,
But we don't have the, what about the people that we were using before? Is that, they're just not in here anymore, so it doesn't really make any difference.
Mike was the last time that we, oh, you mean Troy?
Choice
Don't even say
workers.
the name.
Don't say that name.
The actual was 17,000 in 2024,
Yeah,
and that was with them.
that was with them.
Okay, got it.
I think we might be over budgeting there, but
You don't think that we would use her we wouldn't do another contract for the year? Her contract would be 30,000 for a year, it's 2,500 a month.
But isn't that based on whether or not we use her, or no?
I think
She
the
gets
contract
paid-
is retainer.
Yeah,
it's
and I think we
retained.
move
Oh,
her.
okay.
I mean, I think she moves her, if she works, however many hours one month, she takes it off or adds it to the next month, basically, so that she's working a consistent number of hours.
Okay. So it's basically retaining her, so she's ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, do we feel like that we wouldn't have that you wouldn't use a grant writer?
It's hard to imagine.
Mm.
I mean, we have,
So this year she did, there was the 50,000 grant for Foundation for Community Renewal for the rec master plan update. She did the grant, there was, I think, 130 something for the comp plan. She did the 2 grant applications for member items for US senators. I mean, so she did a lot of work, like, and it seemed like she
water
actually.
stuff, was there a separate thing? for
Yeah, we
water?
did use the water engineer for
Oh, they
that
wrote
work,
that.
because
Right,
they
right.
do that all the time, and we used, a group inside of CPL for the, WQIP highway, the salt shed grant, yeah. Which came out of those 2 capital
And
projects.
the $50,000 line for the rec plan, that would hopefully be paid for, I mean, it's in here as an expense, but that would hopefully be paid for with the grant, right?
So any project, so that's something we should discuss when we get to those projects, but yeah, so there are 3 budget line items here that have a revenue line to them as well. So we're not raising any money from taxpayers on those. So the rec master plan, the comp plan, and the, we actually have the EV charging station has several years of free electricity. Well, it's not free electricity, but we get a grant for reimbursement. So there's a line item for the comp, for CSA that has a revenue line on the other.
So for basic understanding, when we do a project like the sidewalk, for example, some of these firms have their own grant writers, correct?
Correct, yes.
So this is above and beyond on each project?
Yes, this would be for other things that we did as a town. So probably that grant writer would do grants for, definitely for rec. I think that they have things. And currently now that grant writer is bringing us opportunities. So like the master plan update was an opportunity she brought, that kind of stuff. I don't know if we would have any other, we would probably use Delaware, the water engineer again, to apply for any grants that would relate to the water, only because that's their
They
wheelhouse.
provide- Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Don't they provide that?
I'm sorry?
Don't they provide that as part of?
I seem to remember they do. It was in there.
Yeah, it was in their thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I guess we'll leave it then. You never know.
Okay, so constables. So the first 2 lines, you'll notice that they're PS, so we actually just sort of break those out and divide their hours between the regular work they do here and then the special events work.
Did I miss something where it says public safety?
Oh, I'm sorry. That public safety is actually a pass-through for Beth Israel, so.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yes. So Beth Israel, they have a police presence there every Saturday, and we pay the police, they pay, Beth Israel pays us, so it's just a wash.
So I noticed that there's a difference here also on amount requested and the recommendation of the tentative.
For the PS
Yes.
line,
Yeah.
We're talking about.
so we'll talk about that on the, yeah.
The EQ, what's the 4,000 for? Because I see only 703 has been spent this year. And prior to that, it was 2,100, but we keep budgeting 4,000. What's the constable EQ equipment?
Can I answer that?
Yeah,
Oh, there you
please
go.
do.
That's for all the equipment that's purchased for them, uniforms, ammo, everything that's needed to be a constable.
Okay.
The big gap in there, the past chief I don't think was keeping them up to par.
Gotcha.
So the new chief is now trying to bring it back to what it used to be.
And you've also hired 2 more since,
We
right?
brought back some.
Yeah,
They used to be there, then they weren't, and now they're back.
okay.
But what that was for all the equipment that's needed between training and, normal equipment, normal uniforms, everything that the town provides. They provide their own weapon,
Mhm.
but everything else. So like I said, it was just the past chief didn't spend and replace what was supposed to be. I do know the new chief wants to bring them back to where they used to be.
Same thing with the training, haven't spent anything, but we're budgeting.
Yes, and I do know they did training, I just don't know, I'm not in the middle of that part anymore. They do have a chief that takes care of that, but I do know that they have done some training, so I just don't know how they're billing that out for you guys.
Okay.
And what it also was that was training that's mandatory training that they have to have
Mhm.
based on their Article 35 certifications, on top of other trainings that keep them above where they should be.
Okay.
So there's hand-to-hand stuff that's not necessarily have to be every year for Article 35. And then there's different weapons trainings and different things that give them different disciplines on what they're doing, but it all still falls under what the town allows them to do. So it's nothing above and beyond what they're allowed to do.
We can talk about this in personnel, but I noticed that the chief doesn't get a higher salary, he just gets more hours, which seems a little strange to me, but we'll talk about that later.
Mhm.
We pay for the stoplight?
Yeah, when is the stoplight thing?
Yeah, it's the electricity.
Oh, okay.
Really? That's
And it's been
here.
under public safety forever, but if you can see, it's 33104, where constables are 312. So it's just.
We could actually, I should
Probably
probably
separate
move
that out
I should put it in the right place.
And call it
Yeah.
traffic light.
Okay.
We found a
And we
lot of
have
those
2
little
traffic
things.
lights in town.
What? Where's the other one?
Train station. Everybody forgets.
Los
I
Angeles,
guess
yeah.
that's true.
Everybody
So,
runs that red light, that's right.
yeah. Let's see, dog control. These are all pretty much, the only thing that really bumped up significantly here was the cost of the boarding and the vet expenses.
And mileage, isn't there not mileage given for the animal control officer?
I guess not.
There was no request for mileage.
Hmm.
That might be a question of, we have we hired new?
Not yet, but we will be soon,
We
so.
will be, so there could be,
I mean, it just seems odd to me if they're gonna be driving around, dealing with dead mooses and stuff. My sneeze.
yeah, they ultimately should be reimbursed for mileage,
Yeah.
so
I think there should be some.
we can
number
put,
there.
we can put a number into that. Okay. Safety inspections, this is did anybody have anything else on dog control?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Is the building department?
So the request was 149,760, and the tentative is 205, 205, 88.
We're talking about salaries and executive session.
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. I see it's a PS. I see it, yeah.
Let's see.
Everything else.
So, the equipment line, the difference here is that, is replacement of 2 computers.
Mhm.
And a new code book.
Hmm? No, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Again, the conference line is a little higher here because the idea is that we'll have another building inspector or assistant building inspector.
Mhm.
The mileage went up a little bit just because everything increases.
Funny that. Vital statistics are just personnel, right?
Yes.
There's
I
no,
do remember that.
there's no supplies.
Uh-uh.
Um,
Oh, our favorite line.
Yeah, so it is what it is. I do think that at the beginning of next year, it should be, and I know that the supervisor for Millington Northeast is, wants to kind of spearhead getting a number of the municipalities that all will be under Empress at that point to see if there can be a different arrangement of how the service is.
Yeah, the head of Empress said that too,
Yeah.
since they have an exclusive now.
And I do think that, we should be hounding the state representatives.
So this isn't anticipated, this is what it will be next year?
This is what our contract amount is.
Yeah,
Yes.
they held the numbers, Empress held the numbers that NDP,
Well, they have to, we have a contract, they can't.
anything's possible in the world.
And if we want to, we can, Megan is gonna be here tomorrow.
I was gonna
to
say,
go
do we
over all the
wanna
highway
go over
stuff.
highway?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll hold on
Yep.
these two sections as well as the highway fund. And we can go to the sidewalks. So,
So rail trail and snow removal is in this line, it's not included in our other snow removal line?
correct, it's
Okay.
a separate, sometimes it's the same company that bids on them, but
Okay.
and this is something, we don't really have a potential maintenance line for the rail trail. We should probably start thinking about that because, at least the portion that is, wood, the bridge, it eventually will need maintenance and maybe that's something we should budget for every year, a few $1,000s or something.
Megan very nicely sort of screwed down all the handrail pieces which had come up, but I don't know that we can depend on the highway department always doing that, especially if it gets to be a bigger project than that, so. It'd be a good idea to have something for maintenance.
Under sidewalks, just add a maintenance line, is that?
Well, yeah, that's what, we would add another line here, would be
Yeah.
some kind of maintenance for rail trail. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I think we need to.
It's
because I
actually
know-
good to it shows that something is there.
Right, no, I think we should, because I don't, like Leo just said, that bridge.
Yeah, there was like a lot of, just upset about the condition of that and how, I don't know that it's quickly that it fell apart, but that it had fallen apart, sort of a lot of it.
How
So-
much money would you like to allocate to that? 2,500?
I
It's
think
really
it's-
kind of throwing a dart.
Yeah, I think that's probably fine. If it's a bigger project, it'd be a lot more than that, but.
Yeah, to hand, for maintenance, yes.
Yeah, okay. The NACC, this is contribution to the bus service that they provide us, or what they provide the community. Economic assistance, this is kind of remained the same.
Which is something we just pay for that service.
Yes, yes. The VFW, when you guys can discuss, they actually didn't submit a budget request, I have no idea over there who, they haven't invoiced us for the $600 that we adopted last year. This is really just sort of a contribution to the VFW.
It's for the flags.
It's for the
It's
flags?
for the flags for the cemeteries.
Oh, Marge told me that it was just.
That's what we used to, we replace the flags every year when they go to replace the flags before Memorial Day.
Okay,
Did no one send a bill in?
no. Do you know who we should contact?
We- The
Sure.
commander?
Who?
We should contact the commander.
Yeah. Is that,
Do you have the contact information?
Yes, we can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
So programs for the aging is completed by the Recreation Commission.
There was no money on senior trips, spent by August. Does that mean that they didn't?
oh, we're gonna go over this tomorrow with Judy, she couldn't be, she has a school board meeting right now.
Okay, got
Okay.
it. Great.
Okay, so then the next two sections we'll go over tomorrow.
Yep.
All right.
Historian,
Historian is just a stipend.
Yeah, I still think it's like weird that we don't have any money for publications about media, but I said that last time, so I'll try to get over it.
That's what the publications were, that was the $200. Arlene used to put in for dues, because she was part of associations, like they used to go to the fair and she used to set up at the fair. And then we used to have pamphlets for Wassaic and Anania, and that's how that used to come out of that. So I don't know if anybody has mentioned it.
Well, I did talk to Betsy, I mean, she didn't want anything for herself, but it does seem to me kind of strange that we're not contributing to printing costs.
But that's what that should be.
That's what that is.
Yeah. I don't think she's
That's what
printing.
the $200 is, but is she printing anything as a historian?
She's already printed several things this year, one of them about the charcoal kilns.
But did she
That's
just
the
print it off?
Historical
of the-
Society's
I'm sorry?
project. That's the Historical Society's project. That's different than our town historian.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how that's broken down then, but I'll ask her.
We have pamphlets. That's how Arlene used to reprint them.
So that was just for reprinting the pamphlets,
The
because that does.
pamphlets and the maps, whatever, it was like a trifold that we used to have.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a lot of money, but,
It was
well,
just, they had a handful that way when Arlene, and again, that's what our old historian did, but she was on associations, and then sometimes the historians all get together and they exchange pamphlets. I mean, we don't, I haven't talked to the current historian or whatever.
Okay, I'll talk to her, because she should be in tomorrow, so. Okay. What did celebrations mean?
It used to
In
be the
past years.
fireworks for the Union Fire Company.
Yeah, what happened to that?
The town stopped donating.
Really? Wow, that's a bummer. And the carnival as well? Did the town contribute to that?
No.
Okay. And the
Is that
strawberry festival?
That is a different organization.
Who the hell's that? The strawberry people.
That is our strawberry people. That was your other group. The
Enhancement?
no. Indian Rock School people, like they.
Oh, that was Indian Rock School?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay, well, plot thickens.
right, they're all private.
So-
It's one of our private, that was the strawberry fair. Everybody got together, strawberry season time.
So what about like the Harvest Fest, would that go under?
The Harvest
But that's-
Festival
we
went
did
under
one
Park and
under
Rec.
Oh, we did a lot under rock.
There's a Park and Rec one under that. I mean, do you guys want to discuss, like, putting money into celebrations for fireworks?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, besides, I think Silo, nobody does, or Fort Myers did fireworks this year, right?
I think it was a little,
Would the firehouse
You
do it
did
again if we
fireworks
fund it?
now?
Yes, you
I
can
can't
take
speak
it
for
out of your
them, but
budget.
you can present to Aaron
I'm
Howard, our
serious, it's
president.
allowed.
do you want to have some kind of conversation?
State law.
Yeah.
Call Aaron.
Wait, for us to give you money to do your own fireworks?
The New York State law
Yes.
allows the supervisor in his budget to give money for the fire department for fireworks.
Oh,
I
okay.
did, I gave him $3,000.
I was just gonna ask you, how
Thank
much
you.
would you think?
I gave him 3,000, and then somebody matched it.
Okay.
Would that happen if the fire department got money?
Talk to Aaron Howard, our
All right,
company
talk to
president.
Aaron.
I will.
I just, you usually have someone, so. Okay,
Okay, so zoning,
zoning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what personnel is that referring to for $2,200?
it's a stipend for the ZBA chairman.
Oh, that's right, the chair, yeah.
Oh, it's the chairs.
Yes,
I got it.
yes. Offices and training, stay for the same. So now, this is the planning department, so we'll move past the PS line. The,
Land use attorney?
yeah, went up a little bit, there's a number of projects, so I have a feeling that we're probably gonna be justified in having a higher expense for the land use attorney. Judy had requested a planning consultant, which I think is probably a good idea, actually, at a minimum, maybe somebody to put together a policy and procedure there, and somebody that she can consult with.
Didn't we talk about that? Not a consultant, but an assistant?
There's an assistant baked into the PS line, so this would be a consulting.
Okay.
What are you doing?
They'd be trying to organize stuff that kind of hasn't gotten organized, like the way stuff is filed in the planning and zoning office, and sort of technology and a bunch of stuff that just doesn't seem like has any structure.
She has also requested somebody that she could speak with to help her process applications versus going to around all
Okay.
of that. Maybe that'll be a good thing to do.
So I was reading something else, forgive me if I'm doubling up here, but planner consultant is in here. Now, that is above and beyond our consultant's figure?
Yes. Well, it's above and beyond the attorney and the engineer.
So earlier on, we were going over what the consultants.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, yes. The earlier was speaking about grant writer,
Mhm.
not consultant. This would be a third party for the planning and zoning secretary
Mhm.
to be able to.
And that's,
confirm.
this looks like it's a new thing, because it's not.
It is, it was a request by Judy.
By Judy, yeah.
By Judy.
Judy
Yes.
requested
But
this.
it's been talked about, I think, amongst the supervisor and some people on the planning board too.
Yeah, I think it would be a really good idea.
As a member of the planning board,
Yes?
I know that Judy has been overwhelmed with what is on the dockets lately. And especially with the projects that are coming in our direction right now.
Yep.
We've had a lot of scoping to do. Our attorney and our engineer has been very helpful, but she's overloaded.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
And I think she really needs some help.
Absolutely.
I'd hate to lose her. because-
Well, no, she said she's retiring in May, so we are gonna lose her sadly. But,
Sorry to hear that, but
Yeah, me
she
too.
is very efficient, and she really is the hub of what holds the planning board. And if we do find someone with her capabilities, that would be great.
but it will not be easy.
But she has been a little bit overwhelmed, so we stopped
I know.
by today to just listen to what was going on here. We've been very busy, very, very busy.
I've noticed that.
Every
So
time-
can we,
Every time we have a concern with Silo Ridge, she has to send out 160 notifications because they're all involved. So,
Wait, all the people at Silo Ridge, they don't have a bulletin
well,
board
we've
that
had,
they pin
we've
things
had,
to?
have to send out notices when there's a public hearing.
I know, but they all live right next, on top of each other.
you have to send out public notices by certified mail.
they just amended their master plan. So that involves the entire community there. So,
Okay.
I'm just letting you know, some people don't realize all the work that's being done. And I'm not trying to put a feather in my cap, but I know that Judy has been absolutely wonderful in terms of getting things done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Where were we?
So,
Planning and zoning supplies, right?
yeah, so the reason that went down a bit is because she had requested a computer in there. The computer has been included in the.
Other thing?
In the other,
Okay.
yeah.
But you think dropping it 200 from what was adopted last year is
No.
fine? Why is still 1290 in parentheses? Is that what they?
It's-
Oh, so this is because, so I download everything out of our accounting system, I do a report,
Mhm.
and at the time of this, there shouldn't be a negative balance, it was just that Judy hadn't done a journal entry, so,
Okay,
yeah, that's, because a negative expense is an
March.
income. Who did I say?
March,
Did I say
you said
Judy?
Judy.
I'm sorry,
did
March.
journal entry,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
okay.
But we
So-
took care of that.
Okay. So the 2300 will be fine?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last four items, these are actually committees, the wastewater, we've been budgeting 10, climate smart, 10, and the housing 10.
And what
And then-
would that be for?
I'm sorry?
What would that have been for?
So.
Like for climate change, they're not using it.
Well, yeah, so again, if something isn't used, it really goes to fund balance, and we use that to offset the expense this year. So for the housing, they have put together, they've asked for and the board has approved planners at times, are doing events. The same thing for wastewater, for doing the surface water testing came out of the budget that they had for this year.
So this will be 20,000 for a fund balance, is what you're saying?
Well, yeah, we've applied $325,000 of fund balance, so that kind of comes off of this.
What is the where does the comprehensive plan number come from?
It is the quote that was put together for revising the comprehensive plan.
Oh, so they have a quote, okay,
Yeah, that's what the 138,100 is.
got it.
It's that, plus the 138,100 also includes a few $1,000s for review by our town attorney, and a couple of other pieces. And then we can get to the income line, but there's an income number that offsets that.
Is community beautification essentially the enhancement committee?
This is their request, yes.
Okay, I mean, because community, maybe we should be more specific about what it is, because I've never heard anyone use the term community beautification in a media,
Well,
as you can imagine.
and I will say that I think that they have probably spent a lot more than the 920.
Yeah, I
but
can understand that.
Anna's really bad about asking for reimbursement, so she goes out and buys an enormous amount of things and then doesn't put in for reimbursement.
Well, too, and I feel like, yeah, because I have to believe that it was more than that to do the planters.
Well, exactly, all of that I think she bought.
And then the
she
holidays
does-
are coming up, she's
I was
gonna
at that
do-
meeting, and we pretty much covered that,
Covered what?
what we needed for the planters, et cetera.
No,
No,
we're
no, no,
talking
th-
about
this
what's already
year-
done.
What's that?
Was spent this
We're
year?
talking about what she already spent this year, I feel like it's gotta be more than the 920.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind maybe try to push Anna to submit for reimbursement, because I think she spent a lot of money. She did it at Christmas too.
She did, yes.
We
And I
did,
guess-
we did ask, but she's not complying.
All right, I'll call and yell at
She's
her.
non-compliant with getting her money back.
Also, too, I think they've offered to donate, didn't they, some of this? Aren't they doing something for the Harvest Festival? Because they do have so much money in their line?
They
What
are,
they do
but I
is
thought
something-
they were using most of the decorations that we were getting donated to us.
Yeah, I don't
Somebody's
know if
somebody's bringing in 100 moms, who's paying for those?
I think Paley's is donating them.
Oh.
Really?
No, okay, so don't let me get out of, I thought that's what they're coming from, I don't know if they're being donated. Do you know?
Yeah, we're purchasing.
Oh, they're purchasing, okay, so,
Okay, so that'll be.
okay. So
But
that's
there are
probably-
some things that come in for donations, I don't know exactly where from.
Okay,
Right.
Okay.
okay. So I guess we'll all get on top of it.
But nevertheless, they requested that, that's what we're giving them,
Yeah.
that's fine.
The cemeteries, this is the gentleman who mows the,
Which cemeteries?
it's only one, I don't know why
It's
it's the
the
cemeteries.
Old Amelia Burial Ground.
Which one?
Old Amelia Burial Ground, the one on
Around
340.
Magette?
I'm sorry?
On Magette?
On my God, yeah.
No.
I don't know.
So,
No, it's not.
No,
No,
What is it
down
then?
on Leedsville.
it's the Leedsville one that,
Oh,
when
behind
you
my
come
house?
around the corner.
okay.
Well, we're mowing the grass at,
That's part of mowing.
oh, okay, sorry.
So who takes care of the other one on Magette?
It's on the, it's in the
It's
mowing
part of the
contract.
mowing bid.
Okay.
Northeast, we did. I call it northeast,
Northwest.
northwest, thank you. I don't know, sorry.
No, that's okay, but that's who it is.
Yeah, right. Okay, are we good to go on to the employee benefits?
Sure.
The state retirement comes directly from the state, we get that report. The social security, that is social security benefits that the town pays on all the PS lines. So when we talk about the payroll, we can go through that.
Does the department request mean essentially Marge based on what we've been paying, or what are those numbers?
Well, these all will match, because this is all reports that come to us, so,
Okay.
I mean,
Yep,
there won't be any difference.
okay.
The state retirement is what it is, the social security is, it's a calculation from our total payroll of the general fund. The workers' comp, we get a quote from our insurance carrier.
Is the reason for that jump because of the union contract at Highways?
The reason for which jump?
For, the adopted budget last time was,
175.
was 8,800, and this.
This
year-
is just, it is 9 months, quote we get.
Oh, it's from NYMER, okay.
And then we can also go over the medical insurance a little bit later. So our medical premium is going up, the quote is 15% in April. So this budget amount is for a few months at the current rate and then 8 months at the new rate. But I have some questions that maybe we can speak about. I had emailed you guys earlier about that. Are we all good with, these are pretty straightforward. The debt service, this also is, this is just the amount of the premium that we pay. The first, the OL, this is the old Amelia landfill. The first two lines, so the first is the payment of principal and the second is the interest. And then the heating and rail trail is in one bond, and so the first number, the 115, is principal and the second is interest.
And how much longer until those are paid off, more or less?
We only have a couple of more years on the old Amelia landfill, and then the heating, rail trail, I can give you, let's say it's, the landfill is 2030. So it's around the corner, which is fantastic. And 2036 is the heat. And you'll also notice, with borrowing, you pay more interest up front and it declines. So that's why you'll see a smaller interest amount.
Should we add that in their job, in the description, as
For the
have a
lines?
year, their expiration year?
Oh, that's not a bad thing, yeah. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a good thing.
So then you don't have to look it up.
Keep
every
looking
year.
up
Yeah.
every year.
And then you'll know, because it's a.
When are we
it's a-
done?
It's a base, it's a set amount, it's not, the schedule's already set.
I also, I wanted to include a debt schedule to this too, which I think will be helpful because we'll have more as we go along. Okay. Is there anything else on here? The Konica is our copier, and then.
Oh, okay, so we're paying.
Yeah, we're budgeting the same amount for the interest for the highway garage, bonding there. So on the revenue section, the real property tax, this is just a formula taking the total appropriations less all of the revenue and the appropriated fund balance. So this is the amount to be raised by taxes on the tentative budget, given these revenues and the amount that we're using from fund balance. So to go through each one of these line items, just so that we know, the real property tax interest and penalties, this is taxpayers paying late. Non-property tax distribution by the county, this is our share of sales tax.
And the reason that it's not fully paid is just because it must get paid out
They
monthly?
pay it
or-
very late. No,
What?
it
They pay
gets
late.
Get
paid,
in December.
yeah.
Okay.
And you can see, the first portion, I actually think we might get more than 325, only because things are more expensive, so, factory would have more expensive things. The franchise fees, this is for Altice. Town clerk fees, this is, according to our town schedule. I would say that I would like to maybe, at our next meeting, or not tomorrow, but the next one we have, is to discuss fees from all of the town clerk fees, as fee schedule. Maybe it's not for this, but before we get to reorg, so that there's some kind of consideration around that and building department fees.
Yeah.
asking those departments if those fees are appropriate.
State fees have to stay the state. The only one that would be able to change would be your dog, and we have a higher dog than some of our surrounding area.
Okay, well then that's the town clerk. I know the building department, their fee schedule, if you haven't noticed, looks like, you know, an addendum to the Bible. So there may be, and I know that the planning board fees, to my knowledge, have not increased in quite some time.
Well, I did notice that the ZBA fees were tiny, and the planning board ones weren't much better, so it does seem to me that that's.
Where, Dawn, where's the parking ticket fees come in?
That'd be your,
Where do those get
that'd
looked
be
at?
your code. So when you're ready to do another local law and have Ian rewrite those.
That's how we change that.
That's how we change it.
Yeah, you gotta have
You
some
have
of
to
the
have a local law change.
extra mechanism to, yeah. You gotta pass a local law and then that'll have the amount of parking fees.
But the fee's already there.
$25.
Right.
That's correct.
So we have
That's
to create a
all
whole
set
new,
by the
whole
state.
You have to
new law,
redo
local
the
law to change the.
amend your
Oh.
fees. But there's several of your codes that,
Mhm,
it's a true statement.
mhm.
And I spoke to Z3 about the building department fees, which they said were incredibly confusing. And there's a whole bunch of things that just should have the same number,
Yeah.
and they recommended some.
I mean, praise be that that department can do that. It's like 5 pages.
Mhm.
I mean, it's, okay, so continuing on town clerk fees. Senior trip, oh, whoops, I missed.
Economic assistance, did we actually ever
Sport.
get that?
I'm sorry,
Did we ever get economic assistance in the past? I wonder.
I can go back.
No, I just was curious as to why it's there, but okay.
Sports fees?
The sports fees, let's see, this was soccer. Hold on one second, let me go to the, well, you know, we can put that on hold because Judy will be here tomorrow to
Okay.
discuss, but I want to feel like that was their revenue. Yeah, that was soccer fees, was 3,600. And the senior trips, too, that's pretty self-explanatory.
It looks like the year-to-date, we've actually taken in quite a bit more than
Yeah,
that.
we have soccer's like up to 4600 right now.
Wow.
So tomorrow, do you want to, maybe we should
Yes, we
push
should
it out, and
discuss
that
that.
might be a little higher. Let's see, zoning fees, this is ZBA, planning board fees, straightforward. I mean, they're much higher this year. Maybe we actually bumped that up from the 42. I'm not sure really why. We can look into what the 81.
Judy hopefully could answer that.
So public safety, Brad, I forgot who had asked about, this is the Beth Israel. So far this year, that's the 5,200. So if you went back and look at the year-to-date for that appropriated line, it would be the same.
The cell tower leases, are we on that yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're divided into 3 different accounts?
Yeah.
Yes,
what's
they
that?
are. So, because it's been, so this is where, so Denise, our accountant, we have a number of things that just weren't in the right budget line, truthfully, and that's what's going on with the cell tower. So, it's in 3 different places here. I need to ask her if we can actually pull it into one.
Yeah.
But because the AFR requires specific and accounting lines that are prescribed by the comptroller.
But it gets dispersed into 3 different accounts.
Well, it
Well, what
really
is
doesn't get dispersed into 3 different accounts, so that's another weird thing too. Like, we have another, let's see, how can I say this correctly? The rec, there was this sort of rec savings account, but it's never really been created that way, but we do move money into a balance sheet line for a percentage of the cell tower revenue. Does that make sense? So it comes in as revenue on a line, and then that revenue gets moved and then it's held on the balance sheet as a savings account.
Mm-hmm.
But we're only paid, I mean, they only pay one thing, they don't separate it and they pay us.
Mm-hmm.
We just divide it, and March is, historically, actually, she hasn't, we just had put it into these 2 separate things this year. Where's that,
Oh,
the
cell
30,
tower.
the 32 and the 14?
Right, so, okay, I see. So the 2 are going into the cell tower, and then Park and Recs gets one of them.
Yes, exactly, and so that's why you sort of see this breakup of the way it is. For the year-to-date, you see there's nothing under that one cell tower line, which would sort of be like, I guess, the general fund line.
And now where does the other cell tower money get spent?
Well, it's just a revenue line that comes into our general fund revenue, and it
Okay.
offsets our expenses. I sort of brought this up last year, like if we actually wanted to be correct, we would have an expense line underneath the rec that would equal the amount of revenue that is being attributed from the cell tower, so that we actually don't raise money from taxpayers. Because the way it's done here, we don't have an offset. Because the way it's done here is that ultimately, let's call it what, $14,000. We're saying $14,000 is gonna come in as revenue and is gonna offset the other expenses of rec, right? And so we actually raise money from taxpayers to cover the 14 that we put into a savings account. Does that make sense?
Right, we don't need to do that because it's just money coming in, right?
Well, okay, let's say that in the rec budget you have $20.
Yeah.
And then you would raise, let's say you don't have any revenue, and we have to raise $20 from taxpayers to pay for the rec stuff. Now you put in on the revenue line, well, we're gonna do $2 that comes from the cell tower as revenue. So that would look as if like, you're not actually using that revenue to pay for your expenses, the
Right,
$20, right?
right.
You're pulling it away. So we should really have a line on the rec that is for a reserve account line,
Right,
right?
Right.
That equals the same amount
right.
as the revenue that we're putting over to reserve.
Bring that up tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope I didn't make that too confusing.
Not bad.
It doesn't really change anything aside from it, just like the way we're doing for the comp plan. So we have 131 and the comp plan's gonna be an expense. We know we're gonna get revenue for 131, then we're not raising money from taxpayers for the amount. Okay, so then, let's move past. So the New York class, this is, well, first, the investment interest, we do have one investment account that is just a bank account that money comes off of. The New York class is the general fund.
Charlie, where are you looking?
Oh, I'm sorry, we're still on the
Oh, you're in
revenues,
the middle, okay.
2401, which is all.
Oh, whoa, I see, okay,
All of our
sorry.
interest and
Yeah, we didn't
earnings,
do that.
right? I'm pulling down what I believe is our projected earnings from our New York class only because the Fed fund, as you know, they reduced rates. So our New York class return is directly tied to the Fed fund rate in a way. I mean, it's kind of borrowing from the government. So I think that it will come down. ARPA, we're not budgeting anything because we've used all of our ARPA funds now. The New York class for the Workforce Housing Trust Fund. I'm incorporating this because with the anticipation that we will get another tranche from the developer that you guys made an agreement with.
Okay.
I think that I based it off of the, I don't know, it was 230, 300, I can't remember the amount, I'll go back and look. And then the reassessment, we have money in a reassessment fund that we have invested in our class.
What lease payments are we talking about?
So this is the Conica.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Especially for something that rarely works.
I think that amount also includes supplies for the machine as well.
Oh, like the inks, the cartridges?
Read all the cartridges, everything that comes with it.
Everything
Oh,
that
okay.
goes through that, yeah. Rental of real property, this is if somebody actually, rents space in town hall. Dog licenses we went through, building permits, we're building permits from the DOB. The fines and forfeits, this is justice court. There's no, it's not a revenue center, so it's what they are. We went through what the Sow Tower here is.
What
Gifts,
about games and chance? What is that?
did I miss, did I?
Games of chances if the VFW or anybody applied, it's bingo, games of chance, and
The what?
for gaming.
Gaming, like bingo.
Has anyone done that?
Does everybody do that?
Well, the VFW does apply. They have their games of chance, the pull tabs. So you have to apply for a license for that.
Okay.
So we're fortunate we don't have, like the school district's not in our, so I have to maintain those. But right now, The only one that's getting their annual license is the VFW.
I guess the license is $25.
Wow.
Well, I mean, if,
It's like having a casino,
I guess I
right
should
here
put-
in Armenia.
Should I put 25 over? Well,
I mean,
yeah.
they were the only ones, I mean,
Yeah.
nobody does
the-
bingo games.
Right, I love bingo. The state, per capita aid, this is a number that comes from the state, it's just for your population. The state, MTG, that's mortgage tax. I've increased the mortgage tax because I feel like we'll probably have more transactions coming up in 2026.
And what's state other? Because that made an
So-
enormous leap, so what does that mean?
Yes, exactly. So this is where I put it in here. I'm just checking to see if that's the best place to put it for Denise. This is the 131 for the comp plan. So this is really just grant revenue coming in. So
okay.
131 for the comp plan, the 50 for the rec update,
Right,
master plan
right.
update. And
Okay.
there's, I think it's 12,000 for, that we sort of budgeted for the reimbursement of electricity for the EV charging station.
Okay.
And then the 325 is the appropriated fund balance, which we can increase or decrease.
Okay. And I noticed that federal aid just dropped off the chart, which seems reasonable.
Okay. And we'll skip the highway for now. You guys good to go for the water? Or do you have another?
No, I'm just looking for it. Water fund, look at that.
So if you flip through, which may be helpful, or I can go through it as well, the budget worksheets, because there are notes here as to the backup of each one of these numbers, but I'll review them as well. This was done with VRI and the water committee. So we'll move past the PS line, but that's for our billing clerk and treasurer. The first C line is really for postage, that's our mailing, so this under administrator. Unallocated insurance, that's the liability insurance. And then the software computer, so that is the yearly license to Neptune, which is the software that we use to collect the water meter usage data, and then our utility bill software. I added an additional $2,000 here, and I really think that we need new water billing software. We use Utilibill, and we have a version of the software that is very it's online, but it produces terrible reports. We are now, I guess with the old website, they never initiated a customer portal so that customers could go online and pay their bills. And so therefore, a customer they were able to go online and put in a number, but it didn't have any security. And so Forte, which is our merchant processing service, shut that down. And so we had to remove the link on our website, and the billing group in the water department can still process through Forte, but customers can't go online and look up they never could go online and look up through their address or an account number or their name to pay the bill, or to set up reoccurring bill payment or anything like that. And I've been working with Utilibill for a month and a half to try to move it forward, and I don't know where they live, or it's terrible. So,
I'm sorry, but you're saying that the 3697 includes 2,000?
it includes 2,000. I've got a list of water billing software firms. I'm not sure if that is the right number.
Mhm.
We only pay, It's like $30 or $40. I don't think it's anything we pay for our utility bill software, and I think it's one of those things you get what you pay for. Because like we have an enormous number of
Wow.
customers who are in arrears.
Why was the actual in 2024 then 15,000?
Yeah, I was wondering. about
That was because we had to replace the Neptune. We replaced the handheld that the water operator goes
right.
and uses.
Okay.
And we upgraded the Neptune software, which is the software that we use to collect the water usage data. Then the water department gets a spreadsheet and they upload it into Utilibill, which is the actual billing software.
I wonder what we were anticipating then for this year to have adopted 5,300.
That included a computer, so we added a computer to the Washington Court pump house. Before, there was never a computer there, and so the operator asked if we could add a computer there. Which, now that I think about it, let me make sure that where the internet service is being paid for from, because we added internet plan. That might be coming out of the town hall, but it shouldn't be, because it should be under this. Are there any other questions under administrator? The source pump equipment is, we're budgeting for the replacement of 2 pumps. Again, this is sort of quasi-contingency line, because you never know if the pumps will go out or not, but you need to budget for the possibility that they will. So 2 pumps at $5,000 each, and an increase in the cost of having to do electrical running. So it's not just the pump. If one of them goes out, you have to run, the electrical line there and the piping. And then Source Power CE rather, is the contract for BRI. We're going to purification.
Mm-hmm.
So
The equipment 3,500.
yeah, so so it's chemical pumps. So it's 1,700 for each pump, and it's we're budgeting for 2 backup pumps.
Mm-hmm.
The chemicals, let's see, that's pretty straightforward. The
Mhm.
laboratory, I'm checking to see, I'm not sure why it's so low for year-to-date.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they just haven't billed us. We are paying directly to the lab now, unlike with our previous operator where they paid it and then they charged us a surcharge. But it still should be higher than this. I mean, in 2024, it was 74. So transmission, this is really where we get hit. So this is, our water mains break and valves. As you guys are probably aware, we replaced a number of valves this year. We had a couple of water main breaks. So for this, we're assuming 6 small breaks at $5,000 apiece and 3 large breaks at $20,000 apiece. Did I skip over 8340? I think I did. The 9800 is for replacement of bad water meters. The water meters are about $300 apiece, and then the labor is a little over $100. That's about $350 apiece for those. So the engineering here, it's in a way a contingency line, so we can decide if we wanted to reduce it, because we have an engineer who's clearly engineering the 4 phases of this capital project. So I think the only time that we would use this engineering line would be if something happened out of the ordinary, like, a massive blowout that we need to get engineered, but maybe it's not necessary to be 20.
Well, I guess the issue is you feel that the other number for engineering will sort of cover that unless there's something unusual?
Well, no, the other, well, there's not another number for engineering, but we have a capital project that's outside of this
Oh,
operating
okay.
budget. So that capital project will be funded, through financing and grants and things. I mean, truthfully, this number can be moved, it would be fund balance that could be used for the capital project, so.
We're already at 15 though for the.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes,
Used to
but
come
that's, yeah, but that was, we used that 15 for the capital portion of the project. We
Which
had-
isn't anticipated next year, right? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I would probably recommend leaving it because it enables us to also raise funds. I mean, we need a fund balance
Water.
in water.
Yeah.
The water committee had, so the social security is just the FICA off of the personnel services in the administration line.
Mhm.
And then the capital reserve was something that the water committee wanted to add. So that again, that you're building up funds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a very wise thing to do.
Bill, did you want to have any, do you have any comments over? any of the-
Well, I know some of the money that I talked to the OI, there's a company that will digitize the water system and pipes and so on and so forth to where it is, so I know they were gonna get some prices and some quotes, so that's something the town should think about.
You talking about mapping it?
Yeah.
Bill? Okay.
Where they can put it on their phones or on a computer or laptop so you can trace it, and hopefully, we're finding lines that didn't exist. So they found some on Mechanic Street, they found one, but it's going somewhere. We put a valve in
So
and
you-
shut it off.
So you say we need to think about adding another line for doing that?
Well, you got the 20,000, if that doesn't get used, that's some money we have, we can use. We also need to raise the rates, which I guess you're gonna get into that at some point. So
Yeah.
that has to be done.
Has the committee discussed that?
Yeah.
The rates, okay,
Yeah,
good.
we're good. The residential ones are basically gonna stay the same. It's the commercial ones that are gonna take the hit.
Okay.
You have apartment buildings and restaurants and stuff use a lot of water, and they're not paying for it. So,
Okay, that's not good.
no, the bottom line is the water company was broke, so we've got it to, thanks to you, the board, you gave us some money, we've got a couple grants here and there. You've been pretty good with the money, so unfortunately, we've had a few breaks that cost some money. But, a valve is tripled in value, so have the pumps. Everything's tripled in value.
It's really expensive.
It's very, very.
It's really expensive, but it's an old system that hasn't been maintained. I think
I
I think the board approving, the valve replacement project, well, first, the valve discovery project to see which valves were operational or not, was very helpful, but it's just deferred maintenance, unfortunately. I do want to call you
But
guys.
you're gonna go into that, when are you gonna go into that bond,
Was that?
the bond, the money?
When will it be? When will
We
it
had
go out?
discussed about borrowing more money.
Well, there's bonding for the capital project.
Correct.
Yes.
We talked about adding some money to that to purchase some property if we had to.
I think that's something that the board should discuss.
So what we have discussed is obviously the property that Immaculate Conception owns.
Yeah.
So our wells are border that, they're in the wetlands, so we would recommend at some point that the board buy that property. So we had discussed about increasing the bond for that, the well updating to add another 500,000. So we have money to either purchase that property and use it as a water district and/or some other things and so on and so forth.
How far has the conversation gone with the church about the?
We have not, I think some people have had a conversation with the church, I don't know where we are with it, to be honest.
We just had an initial conversation, one of the problems is we have changed pastors. So, the first pastor was very much in favor. The second pastor said he has to learn more about it, so, and I told Charlie that anything we talked about the delineation, that he wanted to know when they were gonna do it, so he
Right,
could be
right.
there. So, you know, we're kind of,
It's early to talk about
Early.
the number.
So I think
And
that,
the money at this point doesn't cost us anything, right, until we use it, correct? I understand you right.
we wouldn't, well, the board would have to approve authorizing it. Yeah, we wouldn't take money out until you use it, but I think the first thing is the board, maybe at your next meeting, will authorize the wetland delineation. So this is part of that conversation, to see where the wetlands are, and how usable that piece of property is.
And so we do have, Rosanna, permission from the church to do that, the
Yes.
delineation? Okay, that's good.
And
He
also,
just wanted to be
He wants to be there
contacted
when
when
it
it
happens.
happens.
sorry?
He just wants to be contacted and be there when it
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, okay.
so the issue is, at some point, you're gonna have to expand this water district.
Yeah.
So it should have been done years ago, but now it's due, it's the time, but I don't know how, they do that. You have properties that are in the water district that are in the proposed subdivision that they're not hooking into the system. So if we purchase the property, that's where the high producing wells are down there on the Bell Road. So there should be plenty of water, I would hope. And as you expand other sites, they would pay the cost of updating the system.
So maybe if we finish up with the revenues here, and then we could wrap for this evening, would that be okay? So
Yeah,
on the revenue side here, I just wanted to point out on the water, the engineer had recommended and the water committee has approved, changing the way fees are, administered. So it goes to a facility fee, which this $81,548 is the administration of the water district, so it's fixed cost. So it is your PS line as well as the water operator. And that would be divided amongst users in the water district on a point system. Residential, single family would be 1 point, 2 family and more would be 2 points, and then commercial and municipal would be 3 points. So that is one set fee you get on your bill. And then all water service would be charged a water rate, so per 1,000 gallons. So it incentivizes people to use less, and so if you lose less, you pay less, and if you use more, you pay more. And it comes out to relatively the same for a single family. There used to be an amount of our budget that we did ad valorem, where we pushed along to assess value, so we made it as a property tax. The engineer has stated that the assessed value of a property doesn't relate to the benefit that a property owner derives from being in a water district. And so that's the reason of moving away from the assessed value point. And while we're talking about this, it would be something I think that we should look at are the fines and penalties in the water district, because the way in which they're being applied now, the billing clerk does not use the water software to calculate the fees. And I've actually seen some municipalities who they do, if you're 30 days late, 10%, 60 is whatever, and then if you never pay your bill and it gets reassessed on your taxes, which is what we do. So coming up, the water department will send the clerk, all of the underpaid, and that will hit their bills. You can charge another fee if you're having to push that on to people's taxes, because ultimately, we want to get revenue up front. They're already being billed in arrears, so you get to use water for 3 months before you get billed for your water usage.
Yeah, but some of that is paid through their, through the mortgage companies. They pay the bills, so that's what happens.
They don't pay their water bill through the mortgage company.
Sure they do. Through their
Some do,
escrow
if they
accounts.
let it go to.
Well, no, exactly, but that's not.
But people are letting it go to the end of the year, and then the escrow pays it.
Right, and I would recommend to the board when we get to the fee structure that there should be a further penalty for that, because
we're waiting on.
we're waiting on the money,
Yes, I
right,
get it.
yeah. I did put here 40,000 appropriated fund balance, only because when I was looking at the rates, which this is something we can discuss maybe when we get to the preliminary stage, what the rates are gonna look like for users. but just by increasing the reserve amount to $50,000, it wasn't an amount that was there before, it just hits the rates, because, you know, you're increasing the appropriation significantly, given just the increasing cost of valve replacement and pumps and things like that. I mean, I guess we could go through lights too real quick. I'm gonna wrap up before 8 o'clock, but this is pretty much held steady, and again, it is, the electricity as well as some, bit of contingency, so we've kind of held it steady for the last several years.
And the revenue, I mean, the appropriation is and revenue aligned with each other, so.
Yeah, exactly, I mean, they have to balance. It's property taxes, so we don't get any revenue from our lighting districts. We raise the funds through taxes.
I have a question. Is it hard to expand a wet lighting district?
I'm sorry?
Is it hard to expand it, the lighting district?
When you expand it,
Who pays?
Can we deal with this in a regular meeting rather than this, so we can focus on the budget? But it's a good idea.
There's some people that want to see, that want more streetlights.
Do we have to go through, the fire district? Are we doing that one?
we don't have any say on that, so.
Oh, it's just knowledge? Thanks.
It's for your reference only.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that was fun. Do
Well,
people
then-
have, oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Do
Nope,
people
go
have
ahead.
questions
Yeah.
before we break?
Well, no, we're going into
Executive session. You're not done.
Okay. Yeah, does anyone have any questions before we go into executive session then? Okay, so we're gonna go into executive session, I move that we do so.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You never know, somebody could oppose. Yeah.